Alright, welcome back. So this is our intro video to getting used to the balance board. So if you haven't used this before, if you just got it out of the box, we really want to make sure that you feel comfortable and feel safe on it. So the first one, alright, if you have your base of support here, I'm going to show the sort of supported version, and Nate here is going to show the seated position to start, alright, and then he's going to come up to standing for a few later. But you're just going to put one foot on the board, alright, with the center foot in the center of it, and just rock forwards and backwards, all right? Make sure that your ankle flexibility is suitable for the balance board, all right? If you can't touch the edge of the board in any direction, or you might want to switch to an easier one, all right, or work on that flexibility before you start, all right? So now we can go side to side, or left to right, all right? This is going to be a little more challenging, all right? Definitely going to feel a little bit of a stretch here, all right? But again, just make sure you feel comfortable. Okay, you can switch feet, right? Oftentimes, especially if you've sprained your ankle or had injuries, there can be a little difference from the left to the right. So frontwards, backwards, make sure that's comfortable, and then side to side. Good. All right?
If you're doing it sitting, you can do it with both feet also. You can save a little time that way.
Good, just you can sneak this under your work desk, just keep those toes moving. All right, so now we're gonna do just a little bit of a ankle circle. All right, so one foot on the board, we're gonna go towards our toe, and then we're gonna rock clockwise a couple of times, all right? And your foot will start to turn, and so come back counterclockwise. There's a funny phenomenon when you use balance boards and you go, if you follow the edge in a circular motion, it'll start to rotate. So just do a couple until you feel like your foot's out of line, and then start to go back the other way. Good. Alright, we can switch feet here. Alright, so following the edge of the board, one direction, around in a circle, okay, and then coming back the other way. Clockwise, counterclockwise, nice ankle circle, warm up.
Alright. So it's very important your ankles are warmed up and your reflexes are sharp, because this balance board is really all about quick reflexes. It's all about how fast you can adapt to changes in your feet. So now if you're ready, we're going to start by stepping on and stepping off. This is really important. Before you just jump on and try to play around with it, you need to know where your exits are. It's just like when you go on an airplane, they always have a safety talk and they show you where the exits are, because in an emergency, you don't want to have to try to figure that out, right? So here's how you do it. First, just step your right foot on, and then your left, and then immediately step off one foot and then the other. So you can step forward, forward, back, back, and just start with that pattern, okay? And we're gonna go through each direction. So you can also try different feet. So you can go right foot, and step off, right foot, left foot, and then try the other side. Step on, left foot, step off, left foot, right foot. So you want to get used to both sides. We often have a pattern. If you notice, if you step on 10 times, you're probably going to step on the same exact way 10 times. So try it both ways, and you're going to train yourself to have a little bit more better reflexes on both sides. So now try stepping on and then stepping off to the side, or even like a wide stance. You can step with, sometimes you might have to have your feet wide and come apart. So try coming on with one foot, and then alternating, coming off with the other foot. Give yourself some variety. And then the last one, try stepping off of it forward. Now I don't recommend stepping on from the back, okay? So in that case, just start from behind it, step on, and then forward, but then come back around, okay? And step over or around it if you need to. Okay, so that's the first thing. You gotta know where your exits are, all right? And then the next thing you want to do is be able to know where your brakes are. Because if you're standing on here and you start to wobble, you need to know how to stop yourself. So first, just go kind of like our warm-up, go front to back, and you need to be able to stop yourself. Now it might be here it's taller and it's a little bit less diameter. That means the angle is going to be a little bit sharper. It's going to be harder. You're going to have to bend your knees a little bit here. Alright, so front to back, and then try side to side. Now you can also shift your feet around on the board. So if your feet are wider, it's going to be a little safer, a little easier. Yeah, you might even lift your foot up and actually practice. Sometimes you might have to catch yourself on one foot. Alright, so front, back, side to side. Know where your brakes are. You have to be able to stop yourself and be safe about that. Alright, so once you've done that, the next one we call is going around the clock. So just imagine as you look down that the top is 12 o'clock and the bottom is 6 o'clock, just like a regular clock. And now touch and stop on each hour. So go 12 o'clock and then back to middle. And then 1 o'clock, back to the middle. 2 o'clock, back to the middle. 3 o'clock, okay, and try to go all the way around. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, good. 6 o'clock can be challenging. You might need to bend your knees, and that's where you want to step off, or if you're in front of the couch, that's why you're doing this with the couch behind you. 6 o'clock is the hardest one. All right, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, go to 9, 10. Sometimes you might do 10:15 or 11:45, okay? So don't worry if it's not exact. Once you get back to 12, go the other way. So go counterclockwise. 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, go back in time. 9, just go all the way around until you get back. All right, it's okay to bend your knees a little bit. Use your hands, use a balance board, use a mantle. Hang on to somebody else if they look stable. All right, so just do it safely.
Yeah, the nice thing about the balance bar here is you can really move it around. You're not reaching for something to support yourself. As you move, you just replace the little bar.
Nice. All right.
So a safe place to dismount.
Yeah, come on up. Take a little break if you need to. All right, and then we're going to show you some circles next, going around the world is what we call it. Now this one is a little bit more challenging, so you may want to have a balance bar, do it from the couch. All right, so if you're ready, step back on. And now it's basically going to be just like the clock, but you're going to do it like a Rolex, okay? So you're going to go smoothly without ticking. You're going to just roll around the world, all the way around. You're touching the rim to every corner. Now, as Mikey was saying earlier, there's a strange phenomenon that happens as you roll. It actually starts turning your body. And this is where it's really helpful to have a balance bar, because when you turn away from the couch or away from the mantle, right, you're going to have less support, so be careful with that. And it depends on how wide your balance board is and how tall it is, and that has to do with how many rotations it takes to make a full circle. So if you want to leave a comment, let us know how many rotations it takes you. All right? I'd be curious to know. Different boards have different rotations.
Also, if you know why this occurs. There's some mathematical reason.
We'd love to know.
Yeah, we could look it up, but let's see if anyone out there has figured it out.
There's a clue.
Yeah, that's a clue.
So now you can see we've both gone in a full circle. Okay, so that's the first one. Now if your mat gets scrunched up at all, just step off, kind of reset that a little bit. And now let's try going the other way. So if you went clockwise, now go counterclockwise. All right. And you might count how many times does it take you to go around.
And notice that each edge of your foot, you're using your outside of your foot, your heels, your toes, the inside of the foot, all right? Every part of it's doing its job.
I'm on 12 and I've gone about halfway through.
This is good. This is a really good ankle stretching exercise, right? A lot of it, we're not quite to balance with this yet, but that strength and flexibility is critical for fall preventions, all right? You really want to have a nice range of motion, really be strong in different angles, different positions, right? Especially in your feet and ankles, right? So it's really important to work up from here, build that strength, build that flexibility, so you can get to the harder positions where we're using different senses, vision, inner ear, and things like that. So there's a lot of ways to make it harder, but let's make sure we've got the fundamentals down.
Exactly. You want to start with the easiest, safest version first, and then you want to work your way up from there. Okay, you can always make it harder, but you don't want to start and make it too hard, and then you run into trouble. So now the last one we'll do for this video is to just balance right in the middle. So try to just hover and not touch the rim down at all. Okay.
And this is where a balance bar is really helpful, because it's really light. Alright, and you can just tap it down if you need to.
Yeah. So it's nice just knowing that you have that. It's amazing what just a fingertip does, you know, even if you have just the side of a chair or something like that, that works too. Just the tiniest little bit of support can actually completely transform your balance. Alright, so now see if you can relax a little bit. Sometimes I notice people when they're up here, they get really stiff and tight. This is an important factor, okay? When you balance, you want to be relaxed, because if you have a fall, that's what they say is you want to actually slump, you want to relax, you want to kind of be loose. If you're stiff and tense and nervous, and if you fall, that's when people get a stronger impact, they get hurt. So practice your breathing, practice your upper body being relaxed. You can kind of move around a little and really release that tension and let your body be responsive and fluid. Alright, so this is the first step, and if you've gotten this far, congratulations. We'll now take you through a whole bunch of different exercises you can do with your balance board.